Welcome to CBSE English Tutorial, a visual guide.
You know, if you've ever read a sentence and wondered how an action can happen without anyone actually doing it, well, you are in exactly the right place.
Okay, let's just dive right in with a little question. Take a look at this sentence. Can you spot what crucial piece of information is missing?
The window is broken. Okay, so we know what happened. The window's broken. But we have no idea who or what broke it. Was it a baseball? The wind? A cat? The sentence just doesn't say. And that missing who? Well, that's our first big clue. So, this brings us right to our first big question. Why would a sentence be missing its main character, the doer of the action? Believe it or not, it's not a mistake. It's actually a really clever, deliberate choice. You know, the passive voice is this super useful tool. We use it when the doer is a total mystery, just like with our broken window. Or sometimes the doer just isn't important at all. All that matters is that the work is completed. It's also great for putting all the focus on the action itself, like books are read in the library, and you're going to see it a lot in formal instructions and official notices. Okay, so now let's get into how this whole focus shifting thing actually works. It's time to get a proper definition for the passive voice. So here's the key thing. The passive voice basically flips a sentence completely around. The object, the thing that's having something done to it, suddenly becomes the star of the show, the new subject. And by doing that, it totally shifts our attention away from the doer and puts it right onto the action itself, or whatever the result was. And this comparison right here shows that shift perfectly. Check it out. In the active voice, she reads books. Who's the hero? She is. But when you flip it to passive, books are read, boom, the focus jumps right over to the books. And the original doer, she kind of becomes an optional extra that you can tag on at the end with the word by. All right, so we know what it is and we know why we use it. So now, let's get into the mechanics. How do you actually build one of these sentences? It's way simpler than you might think. It's really just a simple 3-step formula. Step 1, you take the object of the action and make it your new subject. Step 2, you add the right form of the verb to be. For now, let's stick with is or are. And then step 3, you pop in the past participle of the main verb. Words like broken, read, or written. And check out how easy it is to make a passive sentence negative. You literally just add the word not right after is or are. So, the door is opened becomes the door is not opened. Simple as that. Okay, so that's statements covered. But what about asking questions? It's time to, interrogate the passive voice a little bit. So let's go back to our simple statement. Books are read. Now, how do we flip this into a question? You guessed it. It's another super simple move. You just take that little verb are or is and you slide it right to the front of the sentence. So books are read becomes are books read? Easy. And this table here really lays it out. The structure is always the same. For a positive question, you start with is or are. For a negative one, you can use the contraction, like isn't or aren't. And the rest of the sentence just falls into place. It's a really clear pattern. Okay, now for the really fun part. Let's go find the passive voice out in the wild. I guarantee you've seen this thing every single day without even realizing it. Just think about those signs you see in places like libraries or museums. Visitors are requested to maintain silence, right? Who's doing the requesting? The librarian? The museum director? We don't know. And honestly, it doesn't matter. The focus is on what you're supposed to do. And that's why it sounds so official and polite, but also a little bit impersonal. So you can see it used for these really direct, punchy commands like be informed. But it's way, way more common in those formal, kind of softer requests. You are asked to submit the work. It's the perfect way to give a command without sounding like you're bossing people around. Okay, so if there's one key takeaway from all of this, what is it? It's that the passive voice is all about shifting the spotlight. It takes the focus off the doer and puts it right onto the action or the result. And it pulls off this magic trick using just one simple core rule. And that core building block, that secret formula, is just this. The verb is or are plus the past participle of the main verb. That's it. That's the engine that drives the whole thing in the present tense. So, I'm going to leave you with this question. Now that you know the secret, how it's built, and why it's used, where are you going to notice the passive voice today? Keep an ear out for it in news reports, look for it on signs, check your formal emails. I promise you are going to start seeing it absolutely everywhere.
Thank you for watching. See you again in a bit.